Ah, shit. Hold up, I can change it. Gotta change the title on here. Because I'm gonna go into something else. Salakia. Hold up. Alright, shalom, y'all. I want to give. Hold up. I guess so. Alright, shalom, y'all. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but their spirit beareth witness that they're the children of Yahweh Shem Shai, and shalom to the real sisters out there. Alright, today I'm going into the 2020 hurricane season, like how it's been overly busy, and the GMO mosquitoes released by Bill Gates of hell. No, because they were approved for release back in August of 2020. August 2020, actually. Which it's interesting how a month later, all these hurricanes have hit the South. All these hurricanes have hit the South, and it's been 1 month. Like, damn, it's interesting how that shit works. You had a Hurricane Laura, Hurricane Sally, Hurricane Laura hitting Louisiana, affecting parts of East Texas as well. Hurricane Sally hitting Alabama, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida area, Florida Panhandle area. Flooding out southern Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, and of course, Florida Panhandle. Of course, Laura flooded out Louisiana. Also affecting parts of East Texas, and now you have a tropical storm Beta, as they done ran out of letters because it's so active. So there's now a tropical storm Beta headed for the southeast Texas coast. I believe like around, maybe not, like in between, around Port O'Connor on that area, around Galveston, closer to Galveston, Texas. So it's headed towards. That's where they got it headed towards, and it's gonna cause flooding in Louisiana, of course, East Texas as well. Houston actually got flooded out by Hurricane Harvey back in 2017. So if this Hurricane Harvey had a similar path, hit south of Houston, actually hit around Corpus, and then it did a curve towards Houston, towards the Houston area. It actually was like going along the Texas coast, and it went back into the Gulf, which made it more active, or made it intensify again. It was much more intense, but it has a similar path to it. So now East Texas, Southeast Texas, and Louisiana. Now they in store for some flooding. And hold up. All right, I'm back. All right, so notice all these hurricanes basically hitting the same area as those Bill Gates of those GMO mosquitoes released by Bill Gates of hell. The same devil that's responsible. The same devil that wants is the same in August approved by the EPA in East Texas and you had you heard what Southeast Texas, Southwest Louisiana, and then you have now Beta hit the same general area. It's not too far from there, and the track takes it in that direction. And now you had Sally hit Alabama, Alabama, Georgia, and northern Florida. The panhandle area of Florida affected that area. Really, affected South Carolina too. Basically, those states right there, and this devil released those mosquitoes. He released them in the Everglades of Florida, so they're gonna go that way. It's gonna be what that leads to. It is a huge boom in mosquito populations, because you have because of the mosquitoes, they breed in large pools of standing water, so you have flooding. I mean, it just makes sense. You could just see it happening. It's gonna be a large boom, and there was already a mosquito swarm that actually attacked a flock of cattle in Louisiana. I think they died from it too. They got fucked up. And so Esau, Edom, he already. So I believe it may have been connected to to Bill Gates of hell, to his mosquitoes. I believe so. I believe it's connected to that. So yeah, I want to go into that. It's basically Satan's devices, because these devils, they also have they have some called heart, and they also use chemtrails for the for weather manipulation, basically. And so at the same time as this devil releasing those mosquitoes, franking mosquitoes in these areas, you know, already in Florida and set to be released in Texas. You know, at the same time, you have these hurricanes and tropical storms flooding the area out. You know, of course, causing damage, which takes up which basically costs them money or whatever. So they can, so the little communities, they don't have they won't have the resources to fight off the mosquito outbreak. Basically, it's all been planned out. Let me get that scripture about be aware of Satan's devices. When I was looking it up, that they saying be aware of Greeks when it gives came up. Hey, that's weird, because the Greeks that speak of, because the modern day Greco-Romans, this is modern day Greco-Roman civilization, and Esau first took over Greece and called themselves the Greeks, and then they took over Rome, and that was the first time that Esau rose up under the Greeks and then the Romans, which are very similar to each other. And then now you have the revived Roman Empire, America and those NATO countries, American EU countries, those NATO member nations, the beast and the whore. And the whore, America, has been riding the beast, making it do what it wanted to do. You know, that whore is about to be destroyed by these 10 horns. The beast is gonna hate the whore. You already see it happening. So this devil's already, that system, this revived Roman Empire is going down, and it's gonna be brought down in a spectacular way. His own people are gonna play a role. But let me go into this. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You have this second wave being spoken of by these devils. You have the second wave being spoken of by these devils. Oh, the second wave is coming. Like everyone's warning of a second wave. And how coincidental would it be if they had an outbreak of another disease spread by these mosquitoes? These devils just rubber stamped it as COVID deaths, but it was actually being caused by these mosquitoes, by these GM mosquitoes. Because, you know, you can't trust these devils. Bill Gates, Yeah, Bill Gates says that they're to reduce population of mosquitoes, but you can't trust these devils. It's the same man that talks about, oh, we need to reduce the world's population. The same man that has been pushing vaccines, and that you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all gotta get it. Best believe you speckled birds, Israelite foreigners, y'all on the list too. You know, because it is populate. It's first Judah, the original looking Jakes, and then you Latinos and Native Americans, which are actually the Northern Kingdom. But these devils know where people have been scattered to as well, who they've been scattered among as well. So best believe y'all are in that bullseye as well. And then after that, of course, his own people and these other heathens. But first, Jake is a priority. Notice that in this area where these hurricanes and tropical storms have been hitting, in this area with a large Jake population, mainly it's a lot of Judah, it's a lot of so-called blacks in this area, you know, and also some Northern Kingdom, a lot of so-called Mexicans as well. It's mainly Judah and Israelite foreigners, but as well as a so-called Mexicans in the Houston area. So a lot of them too. Well, guess who they aiming this at first? Like Jake, mainly Judah. Jake and then Judah first. Judah's always mentioned first. First, you so-called black people, you Judites, and then so-called Latinos and Native Americans, you Northern Kingdom Israelites, the house of Joseph, house of Ephraim, house of Israel. So we're all Israelites, but y'all are referred to as the house of Israel, house of Judah and the Southern Kingdom. Y'all are on the in the bullseye, cause these devils, along with these other heathen nations, they have a crafty counsel against y'all. That's Psalm 83. That's what Psalm 83 is about. The psalmist Asaph, he was going in on that crafty counsel. Of these heathens. Yeah. Verse 1, keep not thou silent, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, be not still, O Yahweh, O Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Verse 2, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. So that is That's the goal of their crafty council, which that basically you have people telling you that conspiracies, they ain't real. No, they're just theories by these bugged out people. Or nowadays they'll say it's the Russians spreading it. It's the Russians want you to believe that the U.S. government is fucked up, basically, that they're conspiring against us. But hey, did the Russians write the Bible? Nah, it speaks for itself. Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. They are confederate against thee. They have consulted together with one consent. That tells me and that should tell y'all that there is a conspiracy. And it's against the children of Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And you Israelite foreigners, there is a conspiracy against y'all. And it's headed up by who? Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom, that's so-called white man. And the Jewish, the chief house, and the chief house of Satan, the synagogue of Satan. They head up the so-called white man. They head them up. And the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, them, the same motherfuckers that they set up these 7-Elevens, they set up these convenience stores in the hood, in the barrios, shit, probably even in the reservation. They set them up over there, and they sell y'all cigarettes. They have liquor stores as well. They sell y'all liquor, so you could drink, so they can make money. Really, they can make money off of your oppression. That's one of the main dogs licking our people's wounds, these Ishmaelites. But what do? They send the money to their own people, and they all together. Ishmael, they're responsible for making them ships to sell you to put you so-called black people on. So Esau and so the so-called white man take y'all, so that he could sell y'all. He was also, these Ishmaelites, they were selling y'all to the so-called white man. They made the ships. They actually made the ships, and they made the ships for the so-called white man to put you on and take you into captivity. And so they do have a huge role. As a matter of fact, they have a huge role against in the downfall of our people, which is why we, men of the Lord, great millstone and like-minded Akim, we don't feel sorry for these Ishmaelites getting fucked up by Esau, because they made that deal with these devils to bring our people down. And they was actually, them and these Hamites, these so-called Africans, they were actually teaming up on our people before Esau rose back up. Before Esau took that power back from Jake when we was ruling Europe, Esau, these Ishmaelites and these Hamites, they was teaming up to take our people down in Africa, sell them into slavery. That's why you had a trans-oriental slave trade, and you have our people scattered in these other heathen nations, because they would sell them to these other heathen nations, like the Moabites, for example, which is the next nation on the list. And that's your modern day Chinese, Vietnamese, except you do have Jake scattered among them, among the Thai, the Cambodians, the Vietnamese. Laos. You do have Jakes scattered among them. So, but the people that are ruling those lands are not Israelites. They're Moabites. And then, of course, China. That's the huge, the Moabite, basically the strongest Moabite nation. China and then North and South Korea. And the Hagarenes. Okay, the Hagarenes. Hagar was Ishmael's mom. Hagar was an Egyptian, a Hamite Egyptian. So Hagarenes, that would imply those people. The Hamites, the Egyptian Hamites. They had a role. They've been like one of our biggest enemies. After Esau, it was Ham and then Ishmael. That was our biggest enemies in Moab. Moab was up there too. You have these Moabites in the hood selling you so-called chicken, selling you so-called chicken when you could when they when it's obvious, like they know damn well that shit and it ain't chicken. Even your Jakes, you look at it, you could tell, well, nah, that ain't no chicken. Cause they actually, what they be doing is they be having dogs out back. They be killing them. They say it's a stereotype. Nah, bro. They be eating that shit all the time in China, so why not bring it to America? And even if they have to, and these rats, that's their old ways. That's how they was in China. So why would they stop that shit once they came to America? Nah, man. They do be doing that shit. And they be serving it up to you, Jakes. Cause these Moabites, they hate you. They hate you, Jakes. They hate you so-called black people, you Latinos and Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners. They hate y'all. They hate y'all. And they want y'all to keep going off by eating abominable foods. So what do? They give that shit to you and tell you that's chicken. Or they also be serving y'all that pork because they know y'all love that pork. That pork, the shrimp, these abominable foods. Moabites are, they're a large part of that. They're largely responsible for feeding y'all these abominable foods. As well as Ishmael, that mystery meat. Moab be doing the most when it comes to feeding y'all unclean foods and shit. They be doing the most when it comes to eating unclean foods. Why would they not sell it to you Jakes and make money off of it while keeping y'all down? And the Hagarenes, more Hamites. That could also imply the Ishmaelites as well, but Hamites, really. Hamites. Because because the Egyptians, the actual Egyptians, they come from a man named Mizraim, which that means slavery in Hebrew. Egypt is just a Greek word, but it's originally Mizraim. It's originally Mizraim, and so that's who Hagar was. So that makes sense that would be talking about them. And these Hamites, not only do they play a major role in bringing our people down, they also, and they had us, they was the first nation to have us in captivity. They also, when they come to America, and they be the ones with them nail shops as well as Moab. Moab has them nail shops, some hair shops for you Eves. And then also these Hamites, they have it as well for you, because you so-called black women, which are the tribe of Judah, you Eves, the ones of y'all that want to support so-called Africans, because y'all think y'all are Africans, and plus y'all want to get y'all's nails done. Y'all go to them Hamites, and a lot of these heathens, these Hamites and these Moabites, they be putting enchantments on their shit that they give you, making y'all bug out. And so that's how they lick your wounds here in America. And when they come to America, like, yeah, they do that. I mean, they're these Uber drivers as well. They also, that's another way. Them and Ishmael, there's different ways that they lick the wounds, but those are the main ways. But anyways, you can see why they're that part of that crafty council. The next nations on the list, verse 7, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. So Gebal, this I believe that's more Hamites. Gebal is more Hamites. So Gebal is more Hamites, and Ammon is the so-called Japanese, which they're in the hood too. They're in the hood selling y'all fucking sushi and shit. Selling y'all fucking sushi. Selling y'all fucking squid and shit too. They're like their brothers, the Moabites, the so-called Chinese, except they're into mainly seafood that's unclean. They're into these crustaceans, these sea roaches, spiders, and animals that would be compared to them, except they're the sea version. Basically bugs. Basically unclean bugs. They're into that. They sell y'all that shit. And fucking squid and fucking, as well as that. Fucking squid and, raw fish as well. Raw fish. Hey, they be eating dolphins and shit as well. Dolphins eat that shit. But they be serving y'all that sushi shit, man. So that's how they be making you go off. And also these two nations, Moab and Ammon, they getting involved where your Jakes are at in Africa. They getting involved in there, and they've actually, they're doing, and basically so they could have the cool projects down there. Who be providing Africa? That because they know build puppet governments, they do that shit. And now these governments that are basically being influenced by Moab in the same way, and by the so-called Japanese in the same way, they're also using you Jakes. And you Jakes, y'all have been, has caused poverty in those countries where you Jakes are scattered to. And you Jakes are the most affected, being in the curses. So what do y'all do? Y'all immigrate to these different countries. Y'all immigrate to Babylon, especially you Nigerians. And because Esau makes it a little easier for you to get a scholarship, you think it's it to move to Babylon, But you Jakes, I think there was a case of an actual Jake from West Africa that was actually killed by Esau here. I believe so, way back. So y'all are still under the curses. Oh, Shalom Akwath. Shalom. Y'all about Shimmy Shabrakata. Had it going on Satan's devices is fucking crafty counsel by these heathens with Esau heading it up. And these the 2020 hurricane season has been unusually active. Unusually active, and you know what also happened this year? 1 month ago actually, these GMO Franken mosquitoes were released by Bill Gates of hell. Khan, Dauda. So, and what do mosquitoes need to breed and really flourish? They need they need large bodies of standing water. So that's what these. Oh, Khan. Hey, it's all right. I got going on these. I got going on this subject. Anyways, my lives be lasting for a while. Anyways, yeah, they need that standing water that's still. And these hurricanes, that's what they do. These hurricanes and tropical storms, they flood you out, and also cause damage. So all that, that puts a strain on the community. And then now you have these GMO Franken mosquitoes released by Bill Gates, which that devil, and he's nothing but a devil. He says that oh, it's to reduce the mosquito population, but because we switched off that we put a gene causing them to die. But when you switch one gene, it does old tires definitely they that's like a major breeding ground. They be multiplying fast in them holes. Yeah, con. Hey, but this creating the environment for it. Because Bill Gates, you can't believe that devil, man. That devil be talking about depopulation and shit. We gotta get the population down to zero, cause of climate change or whatever. That devil he talk with a snake tongue, and a forked tongue. He is a snake, and he'll tell you later on, no, that's not what I was saying. I was talking about something else. You took my words out of context. No, bitch. You said what you said. Con, these devils, man, they be working with that harp, and with these chemtrails to create that shit. Yeah, man, it's not a coincidence, man. And you also had that event in Louisiana, the incident with the mosquito swarms, basically fucking up a flock of cattle down there, and it was they were getting it in. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's connected to Bill Gates Franken mosquitoes. Like he did some shit, switched one gene out, introduced one gene or whatever, and then it switched another one, which caused them to be more vicious or some shit. Could have done some shit like that. So they would get more blood, and so that would cause them to survive more. It doesn't. Oh, 35 to 38 degrees, brother. Where is that at? Or is that that's when they die? Because I believe they die around 50 degrees when the temperatures reach that amount. Where is it 35 to 38 degrees? Oh, Ohio. Hey, yeah, yeah. That's also the winter is also coming, and that's something else too. That's something else. The winter, the way this year has been going, you could see that how the winter is gonna be out of this world. Hot ass summer or wet summer, hot wet summer, and then that for the contrast, the other extreme, freezing winter. Hey, pray not that your flight be in the winter. These devils, they about to they about to roll out Jacob's trouble here too. I never got over freezing this year. Ohio. God. Hey, a lot of people be heading down to Texas, Florida, to these southern states because of that shit. But down here you have, earlier this year, down here you have the fucking mosquitoes, you have the heat and shit, the wet heat in the south. Esau, man, this is part of his pestilence that he's planning to spread. I believe this is how it's gonna go down. You know, I was going into Psalm 83. I was in verse 7, and Amalek is of course listed as one of the nations after Ammon, the so-called Jews, the Hamites, and the so-called Jews. That's the the dukes of Amalek. They're the ones that they be running this shit. They be at the head of all these conspiracies. And then the Temanites. Oh, your health can't take cold. Hey, Jake. That's how our people generally are. Our people ain't about that cold like Esau Edom is. Yeah, and that's northern and southern kingdom. I know my mom. She's Northern Kingdom Eve, and she can't stand the cold. And me, I don't really fuck with it like that either. I'm an Israelite foreigner. Which some of the ones of us that look like Edomites, we have more tolerance to that. But still, like, we don't really fuck with it like that. Hey, Shalom Ak Highway 968, Hebrews 8 verse 12. Let me get that one. And their sins, and I will be forgiven. He fell off. Shai woke us up. Buffering Esau when I was young, but I don't really fuck with it. when I was young. All right, I'm gonna get it. And that servant which knew his Lord's will, oh yeah, Esau is hating, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. Yeah, Khan. That's about Khan are people that don't wanna, are people that know the truth but don't wanna get right. Oh, Khan, Esau, of course. Esau is the biggest hater of the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He's the number one hater. And you know how you know this? That devil vocab Malone be on our shit. Oh, Khan. Stiff neck. That's 2/3 of Jake. Prideful because they follow the ways of their father, Esau Edom. Don't you? A lot of know they don't want to return. They're like, they don't want to return. And then you have those that they fall out because they was never one of us. Oh, Esau, of course. No, Esau is really triggered because I brought out, because I'm an Israelite form, or because so that, because they were not of us, and basically they were sifted out. And those fallouts, they be the biggest haters. It's not our fault. It's not our fault that it was only meant for a specific group of people and you wasn't a part of it. 1 John chapter 2 verse 19, they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would have no doubt have continued with us. But what they went out, that they might be manifest that they were not of us. Basically, they wasn't really meant for this thing anyways. And yeah, they hating Esau redder than a lobster. That's his true color. Like the red devil that he is. They be the biggest ones. And hurricanes, tropical storms are hitting. These areas are heavily populated with jakes. A lot of Judah. These are heavy Judah. And you know the truth when it, been knew the truth. He gives you a specific time to get that grace period. Doesn't never come into that time. Because our people, they're not, and it happens, they're mindful of it. They be doing it, to do it. They be quick to. So I believe Ezra is, that's what, and they go back to their old ways. That's why. Yeah. Hold on, let me get that. Yeah. Ezra's 18. What the spoken, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand here, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Because Ezra's was like, verse 17, woe is me, woe is me. Verse 19, point, but for all these things they shall not turn. When in prosperity, there is a we're all right now. It's sweet now. Because our people were our very, and so it do whatever I want. Prophecies being fulfilled. Our people, haven't been able to ignore much that they shall think themselves to be a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So of famine, and the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy. So the mosquitoes, they don't only attack humans, they attack animals too. They're in animal. Fuck. Oh, it's bad. Y'all by Shimmy outside. And blood is blood. Human blood, animal on us. And so there's already of Esau the damn devil. That's to do his thing, of course. Truth is all it, you devils. Esau the real parrot to be that way as well. These mosquitoes, they was created for that role, to spread that. These, as I saying, basically these they were breeding like crazy, basically, just like, and it's gonna be a plague on the livestock. It's gonna be a plague on us of Egypt, because in Egypt there was the livestock were hit. Verse 10. Behold, my people was led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Verse 11. But I will bring them out with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So Yahweh Shemi outside tells us that he's going to smite Egypt with plagues as before. And this place it is modern day Egypt. The Israelites, they're not in captivity in the actual land of Egypt. Even though they're led into captivity in many nations, talking about America. The pyramid on the back of the dollar bill, everything. Memphis, city of Memphis, on the Mississippi River. That Mississippi River, that's like the Nile River for America. The Phoenix, Egyptian symbolism with that. There's even a city, or like, I think it may be a suburb called New Egypt. It's in New York City area. So it's obvious that what this place is talking about. And as for Sodom, America has been the largest promoter of homosexuality around the world. So it's obviously talking about here. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to plague Egypt as before. Yeah, it's going to cause food shortages. You already have that shit in the works, because you already had those factories being shut down, those processing plants being shut down due to the Roma pandemic, scandemic. You had that shit. You had them being shut down because of that, which that's a lie right there. There's barely 94% of the people that they say died of the Rona didn't really die of the Rona. It was some other shit that they died of, and they said, oh, Rona was a part of the reason. It was bullshit. 6% of them actually died of the Rona, and it's a small percentage of the population that actually was hospitalized with the Rona. So this is a scamdemic to what to basically help push and to also blame on the collapse of the economy, the collapse of the dollar. Blame that on the Rona. Because, you've been, those of y'all, been watching, you notice that the dollar has been getting rejected by these different nations to sell the oil. They don't sell the oil in dollars. Saudi Arabia is like the only one, I think, and a few other Gulf states. And so, China is recalling it. China is ready to dump the dollar. They're ready to sell off those stocks that they have in the dollar. Because the dollar, is next to worthless now. It's not based on gold. Nixon took it off the gold standard. And it's been going down. Since then, only oil, these wars for oil have been keeping it up. Just why you have Esau sending U.S. troops to the Middle East, backing up the interests of Saudi Arabia and these so-called Jews. That's why you had that, and you had them overthrow. One of the main reasons why we went into Iraq is because they was gonna sell their oil in euros and not dollars. And it's also one of the main reasons why Esau is gonna make his move on Iran and start World War III. But yeah, that's the dollar's going down. So the economy with it. And this really like a controlled demolition of the dollar, because it's all orchestrated by these Rothschilds, by these top elites who control both sides. And they did already set that in motion by taking it off the gold standard. These elites, they think that they can achieve their new world order by causing a collapse of their own economy, to introduce a new one, also by order ab chaos, by divide and conquer and all that. But the Bible tells us that a divided kingdom does not stand, cannot stand. So that's that wisdom, Esau, Edom being taken away. That was prophesied to happen. These devils are literally gonna bring down their own rulership like that. House divided cannot stand. There you go. I'm gonna get the scripture though, because I gotta be the one to do that. And even Abraham Lincoln, that devil that Jake loves so much. Even he said did a whole speech on a house divided cannot stand, because even Esau back then had some kind of sense. The wise men of Teman, was around. Even they had some kind of sense back then. But now it's like There. Where is it at? It's gone. And that's also that's that evil eye that Esau has towards his brother now. Yeah, let me go into it. Matthew 12, verse 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Esau is trying to bring down his own people, basically. The Babylon. Esau is trying to bring down his own kingdom of Babylon to introduce that new world order. But this Esau's eye evil towards Esau, because these so-called Jews, Amalek think they can fuck over the rest of Esau and be all right. But at the same time, these other Edomites, they're getting woke to Amalek's plans and all that, because they fucked up and allowed the internet to go out. And that's how the prophets have been bringing out the truth. And you best believe it's not only Jakes, not even only. It's not only Israelites that are watching these videos. It's Edomites too. It's Edomites too. They've even been bringing out shit on their own people. So Esau is just divided all over. There's these regular ass devils, they done figured out that Amalek has been fucking them over. Except they think that they're different people than them. They're all the same people. And Amalek thinks that they're these average Amalekites. They think that they so-called white man is a different race than them. These elites know that they're all the same race. They have that evil eye. We have to accomplish our new world order no matter what, even if it's fucking over our own. That will lead to their downfall. That's Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And you also have, and it also kind of goes into this too, because not only do you have Jakes down there, you also have Esau as well down there. And these are the type of Edomites that are them patriot types, and types that don't trust Amalek. They don't trust the U.S. government because they know it's run by Amalek. And so, them getting fucked over like this, and it was approved by Trump's EPA. That's just gonna confirm that what they've been thinking. It's gonna help rile them up too, because both Edomites on the left wing and on the right wing, both of them, they don't fuck with the U.S. government. And so at the same time, that's going to provide more fuel to the fire for that civil war in Babylon. The Egyptian versus Egyptian war. As these intruders are constantly blowing the whistle on these devils. That's Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And also that sedition among men. Second Ezra's chapter 15, the same chapter where it talks about Yahweh Shem Yahushai plaguing Egypt as before. Well, this is one of them, man. This is actually these curses falling upon these devils. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, man, these devils, they want all the smoke. These everyday E's, they want all the smoke when it comes to their government. So, and when it comes to each other, so it's gonna be all out chaos. And also this ties into their race war as well. One people standing up to fight against another. That's Esau, especially these right wing, these proud red devils, down in the south. They blame. They're strongly against BLM, which is the left, down the left wing. It's the Edomite run organization too, run by Amalek actually. And what they believe is that Amalek is actually getting Jake to be uppity and all that shit. They believe that shit. And Amalek is trying to take them down by getting Jake to be uppity and protest and right. They believe Jake is. It's a movement representing Jake. So, of course, Esau finds a way to blame Jake for anything. So, they find a way to blame Jake for this as well. And the supplies are gonna be tight. They blame Jake. They blame Jake. They say Amalek is trying to genocide the so-called white man, that they're trying to get rid of their own brothers, the so-called white man, and by using Jake. That's what they believe. And so they're ready for that civil war and that race war against Jake. And the supplies are gonna, that food shortage goes into that, because that food shortage hits Jake the worst. And so how is Jake going to react to it? This food shortage and these plagues as well. How's Jake going to react to all this? How's Jake going to react to all this? That same thing is sedition among men. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Because also Jake is getting roused up out here as well. Jake is getting tired of Esau shit. Tired of these cops shooting down Jakes. And what do you think is going to happen when Jake is hungry? They got to get some shit to eat. Like, this, y'all remember when Hurricane Katrina, hit New Orleans, and Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, Texas, and flooded them out? There was actual devils that was hunting for looters. They was targeting Jake. They was hunting for Jake. And you had cops. These cops and regular Edomites too in New Orleans, when Jake wanted to go get something to eat, when Jake wanted to go in their neighborhood, they stopped them from doing it. Now you can't come in here, These Edomites, they'll tell you that it's all love, it's a post-racial society, whatever, but that's bullshit. When shit goes down, especially now, shit goes down, the everyone fucking clicks up with their own race. Everyone does. Post-racial society, my ass. Hey, go to anyone who's been in lockup knows this shit. You know, in Esau, they can sense that they know that their society is going down. They know that their queendom is going down. They're about to lose their rulership. So, what Esau gonna do? He's gonna resort back to his blessing. He's gonna go Cain mode, just like he was before the so-called civil right, before the 60s or whatever, and in the 60s. Just like he was then, he's gonna go back to Cain mode. And you can already see that happening. Hey, the so-called Christian pastor that called for his congregation, which you could probably bet is it's made up of mostly Edomites. His congregation, he called on them to join the militia. To join a militia to fight the left. And who's considered a part of the left? BLM. And they look at you Jakes. If you're a Jake, they look at you already as a threat. If you're a Jake that doesn't have a good opinion of America, they look at you as BLM. They look at the Hebrew Israelites, they look at them the same way, because we stand up and we condemn this queendom, and we say we bring out the truth of how Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, that's the true name, and how the one that the world calls God, his name is Yahweh. He's a so-called, he shows himself to be a so-called black man with white woolly hair, and his son, he looks the same way, and so then the real Jews must be so-called black people. So we bring that out, and the Latinos and Native Americans are the Northern Kingdom, the curses, all that, the truth about our people, the truth about the so-called white man, about the heathens. And so we're basically looked at as that, because we're saying that so-called black lives matter. Really Israelite lives matter. So we're looked at in that way. And so that is going to be made worse by this famine, because what did Jake do? Jake is gonna be hungry. They're gonna need to eat, so they're gonna loot these stores. It's gonna get bad out here, because it's not just this causing the famine. It's other causes too, and so it's gonna be a bad famine. They're going to even be going into these Edomite neighborhoods, because they're going to be running out of food in the hood. All them stores got looted. That wasn't enough. And Esau, of course, is going to have his National Guard troops. His martial law troops, starting with the National Guard. More militarized police. In martial law troops, National Guard troops, and also you have something else. The police is being defunded in many cities, so Esau is gonna be like, well, when we have to send the National Guard there, or these militia groups. Oh, we'll patrol the city. We'll make sure we'll patrol the city, because they are looking for a chance to basically go nigga hunting again. They looking for that chance again. They still believe in all that. And so you're going to have militia groups as well going into these cities. That so-called Christian pastor said that they're trained in urban warfare. Yeah, and that's why, verse 17 and 18, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because it's also going to be locked down. Also, that goes into these militia groups too, because Jake that want to leave the city and go to another one, they're not going to want you going out there because, oh, he's a looter. They're not going to want you to go out there. You'll be stuck in one city trying to go to another one. Or you're trying to go into the city, there's going to be checkpoints and shit. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And also something else, they've been saying, because protesters have gone, these Antifa protesters as well as the 11, they've gone from one city to another. They'll go on buses and shit. And it's been known that they do that shit. So, you have these Edomites. Stopping you from going into a city like that. Oh, we can't let any more people in here because y'all might be protesters trying to start riots in our city and shit. And verse 9, so that's another way, There's many ways for many reasons, they're gonna block off the cities. Which is just gonna make the famine even worse. Because the supply chain from one city to another is gonna be broken. Esau is gonna make it hard for these truckers to come in, if they even want to come in. A lot of them, they're gonna remember the LA riots whenever there was an Edomite trucker that was taking out his truck and he got his ass whooped, and they're not gonna want to come in your city. So there you go, shortage right there. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and fucking all that. And this is one of the ways that is being brought about. Yeah, man. You have a lot of these Israelite foreigners that they're going to try to... Jake is going to be caught up in these civil wars and these race wars on both sides. You're going to have confused Israelite foreigners that actually think they're heathens. They think they're Edomites and they're going to take the side of Esau. They're going to be on Esau's side. You're going to have some of them that are like, wait, because they're going to vibe with Jake and they're going to link up with Jake. The ones that side with Esau, like the coons and shit, they're going to be the first that Esau is going to get rid of. Eventually, yeah, man, Esau don't need you no more. He's going to get rid of you. So that applies to the Israelite foreigners as well. He's going to get rid of you. Let me get that, damn, what was I going to get? Oh, shit. I was going to get that Bill Gates video, about the mosquitoes that he released. Also, I think I had never mind. Yeah, hold up. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that Bill Gates video. No, because some people may be coming across this live and they don't fucking know. They haven't heard of that. So, let me get that. Let me actually get that live. Salakia, that video with Bill Gates. Bill Gates mosquito. Mosquitoes TED Talk. Oh yeah, he does that shit too. Innovating to zero is another one. Depopulation. Let me get this one though. This video right here, which if you don't think that's some creepy shit, man, I don't know about you. This shit right here. The swamp. It's like dead shit, foggy shit. Look what you see. There you go. There you go. There you go. This video was published when? I believe it was August the 20th. 1 month ago. There you August 17th, 3 days ago actually. That article came out. It said August 20th. It was published. And where did he release it? Where did he release this shit? Fucking Florida.
So I'm blood feeding mosquitoes, offering them their meal of the day. Right now we have in here approximately 500 mosquitoes. When you do it for the first time, it can be quite painful, I have to say. But you do get used to it.
They evolved in this shit too.
The name Ifakara refers to a place you go to die.
Place you go to die.
The environment here is like really good breeding habitat for malaria mosquitoes. Up until 1990s, we still had 80% of the people in the villages here carried malaria parasites at any one time. It was common that children wouldn't survive their first year of birth. So my friends, we're entering the mosquito city now. We study ways to kill mosquitoes, to attract mosquitoes. We study the behaviors of the mosquitoes, the entire life cycle of mosquitoes. They change and adapt very quickly. And that means, for example, we are no longer able to kill mosquitoes with things such as pyrethroids or even DDT because they develop resistance.
They've been saying the antibiotic, like pesticides and shit like that, as well as antibiotics. They be saying that shit creates fuck. They be saying that shit creates resistance.
This nasty mosquito called Anopheles funestus, it carries 9 in every 10 new malaria infections, and unfortunately, it is also the one mosquito that most scientists do not understand. One of the things we are trying to do in our lab is just to study the biology of these mosquitoes so we can mount some reasonable response. Malaria control relies primarily on insecticide-treated bed nets, but they're not enough. And so we develop new technologies that can be used to complement this. One example is a technology we created here. It's called the Eve Ribbon. It's treated with a spatial repellent that prevent you from being bitten from a wide area. We have work on repellent sandals. If you wanted to provide round-the-clock protection until people go under their bed, the best place really to put this protection is the shoe. We capture the sound of the mosquito in flight and use this to identify the mosquitoes. One of the most interesting pieces of work we do now is studies of the mating.
Basically, it's a captive colony of mosquitoes used for researching ways to combat malaria and other mosquito-borne diseases. Yada, yada, yada.
Behavior of malaria mosquitoes. mosquitoes meet in specific locations in the village around sunset every evening. It's a ritualistic dance, they do it every day. If we map the locations of these swarms very well, it should be possible to go out there and spray them. This is our smell machine. We use it for studying the mosquito sense of smell. How do mosquitoes make choices of which household to go, which people to bite? Because humans have different levels of attractiveness for mosquitoes. So we will have a very dirty socks of Harper here and a very sweet smelling socks of myself on this end. And we let the mosquitoes free and just see if the mosquitoes can make a choice.
As you can see, they're saying here that
I feel like it's some kind of a love-hate
out.
relationship. If you can't beat them, you join them for now, but we're really just studying them and buying time until we can kill them off. For the mosquito species that carry malaria, we see no need to continue sharing this beautiful planet with them.
Rust is so is wickedness. So the same. So I mean, hey, that's on you, man. Whether you trust this man, you trust this devil or not, you know. Trust him at your own risk. This is the same man that also, fuck, let me see. Oh, it's just probably dark, that's why. Can't see me and shit. It was the same. It was the same devil that. Hold up. Well, of course, my shit reloaded. Am I surprised? No, I'm not. I ain't surprised by that shit. Maya Altry, the so-called Lion Queen. So-called black Israelite that loves Jehovah. It's not even his name. Allah. That's Ishmael. That's this Muslim shit is for Ishmael. And it just means, that just go back to a Hebrew word meaning power. And East. She's in a picture with these Edomite cops. And yeah, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. GMS Elder Manat Zagbar actually was going into that. So of course it's all gonna come out. And let me bring that out because this devil talk about innovating to zero, and you know, you gotta bring one of these numbers down to zero. Same man. Supposed to be some.
Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase of about 1.3. The second factor is the services we use.
You heard this, man. If we lower the population, if we do a real good job, we can get it as close as possible to zero. Man says it, tells you himself what he wants. So, y'all unbelievers out here don't believe that this man is a devil. Well, he's telling you himself. You don't believe it because it comes from someone like me. Well, believe it when he tells you. Oh, let me play, not Slack, it's Slack. There's an article about oh man, let me do this. Mm-hmm. Yup. Yup. Yeah, the mosquito population in southwest Louisiana is from September 11th. This article is so big that after Hurricane Laura, their swarms of them are killing cows and horses. Yeah, says the mosquito population is exploding in southwest Louisiana in the aftermath of Hurricane Laura. Livestock owners have reported numerous cattle, horse, and deer deaths from mosquito attacks, according to Louisiana State University Ag Center press release. The swarms of mosquitoes have sucked the blood out of the animals till they can't get enough oxygen and ultimately succumb to death, the Louisiana State University Ag Center said. Swarms of mosquitoes in Louisiana have been attacking livestock and draining their blood until they die. The insects have moved to more populated areas after Hurricane Laura hit the state in late August. Laura made landfall as a Category 4 storm, destroying homes, stripping power lines, and causing widespread flooding. Adding to the list of devastating effects, the southwest Louisiana mosquito population exploded, killing off a number of cows, deers, and horses, the Louisiana State University Ag Center said in a press release. A number of livestock owners reported losing cows, bulls, and horses from the mosquitoes. One veterinarian told the LSU Ag Center that a cattle producer lost 20 cows. He told the Associated Press that a P&D operation lost 30 out of 110 deer at a loss of 100,000. And this causes those type of losses too, which is what causes prices to rise. The mosquitoes, which causes them, you jakes, and not be able to afford these products for that meat that come out, meat and milk come out that come from cattle. The mosquitoes suck the blood out of livestock, so the animals move around to try to get away from them, and then they can't get enough oxygen and eventually fall to death. Hey, it's a fucked up way to die. Mosquitoes can literally kill you like that. It's a hell of a way to die. LSU Ag Center veterinarian Dr. Christine Navarre recommended in the press release that livestock owners spray for mosquitoes, use rubs for the animals, put coverings on them if it's too hot, and use good nutrition and heat practices to keep the livestock otherwise healthy. So basically they're saying that I'll do this because it's too hot. Like running around, it's fucking hot as shit, and mosquitoes are biting them. Oh shit, hey, toxic chemicals are spilled into the air in Louisiana due to Hurricane Laura. But air monitors died, making the danger unmeasurable. That hurricane unleashed all types of hell in that area. And then now there's another one. Oh, Shalom. Wait, what do you mean, Shalom? Oh, you back? I mean, you back. Yeah, but yeah, the Hurricane Laura, that was one big hurricane, but now another one, a tropical storm Beta is coming there, And well, what do you think is gonna happen? It's gonna make that situation even worse. It'll spread to Texas too. And then that Hurricane Sally, expect to hear some events from Hurricane Sally, called mosquito events caused by Hurricane Sally. It's gonna be a huge boom out there in Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, and Georgia. Well, just all over the South, and then and you know what Esau Edom is gonna do. Esau Edom has been, I bet this is gonna happen. Esau Edom is gonna say that Rona is spreading and shit, and is caused by the Rona. And we need to lock you down. We need to take stronger measures, because obviously the last time it didn't work, and you niggas were protesting. That's what. So they're also gonna blame that on Jake. It's just gonna be blamed on Jake, which is gonna lead to that martial law. Just gonna lead to that race war, these martial law. Esau coming in like a flood, because this time is short. That's what it's gonna lead to. Oh shit. Oh shit. What? DARPA microchip bill making the mark of the beast mandatory. Hey, it's coming. Esau is ready to roll. Yeah, man. These devils, they know that they have a short time. That's Revelation 12, verse 12. They ready to come in with that flood. Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the sea, of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down to you, having great wrath, because you know that you have but a short time. That's what you see happening. This devil is in a mad rush for his new world order. He's on fire for his new world order. He's ready to roll on you jakes and use any justification to do it. Watch. This so-called second wave, it may be caused by this and also the flu season coming up. Well, what are these devils gonna do? Oh, it's Rona. Rona made a comeback. Cause you niggas were protesting. Y'all spread it. So we have to lock y'all down. For your own good, of course. These devils. They about to go hard. They been going hard, but they about to turn it up a notch. Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. Yes, we all know that woman represents Israel. So he's gonna come down on you Israelites with that flood. These devils, these heathens, they're that multitude. That great multitude that has that wrath. They're coming down with great wrath. The wrath that's being kindled against you Jakes, you that fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai according to knowledge, and not according to knowledge, which would be you 2/3. And but the difference between those that fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai not according to knowledge and those that do is really it goes into in Isaiah 59 verse 19. Two different outcomes. One of these outcomes is in Isaiah 59 verse 19, and it's for who? It's for, I'm going to read it. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. The spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall lift up a standard against them. Verse 20, to lift up a, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. Okay, verse 19. Or when the enemy shall come in like a flood, them stormtroopers, them stormtroopers, which that was actually, that was how the troops, them troops of the Empire and Star Wars, that's what they was called, stormtroopers. Really, that Empire, the Empire Strikes Back and all that Empire, and that represents Esau, Edom. Represents Babylon, Rome, Egypt, all over again. You could see it. You could see the symbolism with that. And so what the stormtroopers causing a flood, right? When the enemy shall come in like a flood, overwhelming, powerful, out of nowhere, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall lift up a standard against them. So, but against who though? Verse 20, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and for who though is what I mean. I already know against who. It's going to be against these devils coming in like a flood, and as well as these Gurkha troops is going to be a part of that flood. And so these other heathens, they're also going to be here as well. You have Russian, that's Edomites, and you have you have Chinese troops as well, already. They're already ready to go here in Babylon. Actually, them and you have, so that's UN Gurkha troops. They're a part of that flood. It's headed up by who? Esau, Edom. It's basically Esau, Edom coming down upon you Jakes. And their own people coming upon them. These are going to come upon. But who's the standard going to be lifted up for though? Verse 20, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from tranquility mischief. That Yahushua. So this is this makes it with new 2/3 die. But let's go and like we're good type of, but and them troops, of course, many types of weapons. Trails used as a weapon, psychological weapons, all part of the weapon. And that day will lie in the days of old. How was it built? Our people was put, they may possess. That's what that there. That had us captive. We're gonna have David say, "Y'all Shimmy drop." Basically, him in them fields, but he, ones was a higher labors. The hills shall melt. The top of them dates and shit. All the hills shall melt. High place be made level. Basically, these devils. Basically, that Esau being brought down made that burning mountain, and all the hills shall melt. We're gonna Fucking hurts. Got that affliction. The mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Verse 14, and I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They also shall make gardens and eat the fruit of them. So this is all going to lead to this. And who's going to be the first? The elect. The elect will be the first ones out of here. The first, basically, the ones that inherit the kingdom. The elect, followed by the rest of Yasharallah. So they're going to be right in the kingdom. Hey, vocab, Malone. Hey, yeah, we did get the golden ticket. We did win the jackpot. Deal with it. We did win the jackpot. And you're a forefather, Esau Edom, sold his birthright. He sold his birthright for what? A morsel of meat. So you have no one to blame but your own forefather, in which this was set up anyways. When y'all was in the womb, Yahweh Shai, he told Rebecca, Jacob basically gonna be on top. The younger shall rule the elder, be stronger. Jacob gonna be on top. It was set up from the beginning. Because you devils, y'all come from the seed of Cain. Y'all come from the seed of Cain, which that's Cain went off. Cain gave an unrighteous get offering of fucking fruit. And I mean, come on now. And Abel gave offering that Yahweh Shem Shai had respect to. He was pleased with the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. Come on. Abel's offering was obviously superior. But Cain, you know what you did? You fucking killed Abel. And so Yahweh Shem Shai, he hit you with that curse. That cursed and put that mark upon you, and you came back. You came back as Esau Edom, and he didn't let you kill Jacob like you killed Abel, because that's him coming back. He didn't let you do that. Instead, what he did is he delivered Jake, but you're gonna get a hold of 2/3 of Jake. You're gonna get to slay 2/3 of Jake, but not all of Jake. Not all of Jake. You're all ultimately gonna take the L. You can't reverse these prophecies that you're gonna service. You're gonna bow down to us. Yeah. Vocab Malone, man, you just hurt. You just hurt that you ain't the chosen. You ain't the Israelite. You hurt that the Israelites got it. Got the promise, got the blessing, and you didn't. You just at this point, it's obvious that you're mad about that. About Jacob getting the birth, about Jacob getting basically taking the W. We taking the L right now, but the W is gonna be even greater. Because Jacob is the beginning of the world that's coming. Esau, you're the end of this world. You're the end of this world. You Edomites, y'all just bitter. Y'all just mad about that. Y'all got an inferior blessing, the fucking sword. We got the blessing of the kingdom of Yahweh Shem outside. Y'all got a blessing that expires too. Y'all got an inferior blessing, why y'all's ancestor Esau wanted to kill our ancestor Jacob. That's why, because you took L. Second Ezra verse 6, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth it. So the end of this world is Esau eating. You could see it. It's apparent we are in those days. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we got next. And this proves who Esau Edom is. No, he's not the Arabs. No, the so-called white man is not Japhet. That's the so-called white man. It can't be Japhet. He don't fit the prophecies of Japhet. Was Japhet prophesied to rule at the end of the world? Nah, so shut the fuck up. This man is Esau Edom. By the so-called white man, I mean Esau Edom. That's what I mean. I don't mean the Israelite foreigners that look like these devils. And just putting that out there. I don't mean that. I don't mean y'all. I mean these devils. Hey, the original so-called white man. That's what I mean. Yeah. Esau, you're the end of the world. You're the end of the world. It's not the end of the world that's coming. It's the end of your world. Because Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And your end is coming soon, because your end is coming soon. It is near. Oh, Khan, okay. Yeah, a lot of people will get that confused, because they have a carnal mindset. Think that because you look like one of them, that you are one of them, which is bullshit. Let me get that oh yeah, y'all already know that y'all have a short time, you devils. That's why y'all rolling on this. That's why y'all doing what y'all doing. We know you're about to come down with great wrath. And we know that's the reason why. And also our salvation, which means what? Our salvation is nearer than what we believed. So on the flip side, bad times are coming. These devils are gonna roll, but also, Yahweh Shem Yahushai about to raise that standard. That's Romans 13, verse 11. Knowing the time that now it is high time to awaken out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So, knowing that now is high, or now as our salvation is higher, it's nearer than when we believe. So even than what we believe it's close too. We believe we at the end, but it's even nearer than when we believe. It's high time for you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners, to wake the fuck up out of sleep. We put these lives out. We go out on the highways and byways for what? To wake up those that can get it. Those that got the eyes to hear, they got the ears, the eyes to see, Salakia, and the ears to hear. Because they can see that we're that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. They got ears to hear, so they also hear our message. Eyes to hear, to see, ears to hear. But it obviously don't mean that 2/3 don't have eyes or ears. Nah. 2/3 of y'all don't have the eyes to be able to see this. And y'all don't have the ears to be able to hear this. That's why y'all don't hear us out and y'all don't see it. And, because y'all hate to see it. Y'all hate to see it. Your mind has not been opened up to us, to this truth. Because the eyes, eyes are useless when the mind is blind. Same thing could be said, about the ears, the mind is deaf. Ears are useless when the mind is deaf. Because what happens, it goes from one ear out the other. Actually, Matthew chapter 13, verse 15 to 17 actually says what I'm saying. Therefore, okay, let me just start at verse 11. He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Verse 12, for whosoever had, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him it shall be taken away even that he had. Verse 13, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. Verse 14, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, by hearing ye shall hear and not understand, and seeing ye shall see and not perceive. Verse 15, for this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their hearts, and should be converted, and I should heal them. So y'all set up from the get-go. 2/3 of y'all, 66.6% of y'all are set up from the get-go not to get it. But 1/3, on the other hand, verse 16, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Verse 17, for verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. So, as for the elect, a sign that you are part of the elect. It is verse 16 and 17. That's a sign. Like, we don't know until we either get spiritual power or end up on a chariot. We don't know until then. But that's a sign, that's a sign that for you to continue to be hopeful, basically. So you can continue. There's a sign for you, y'all can keep, we a hopeful elect can keep that hope, keep our hopes up, basically, so we can continue to strive to make our election sure. That's a sign right there. Nowadays, back then they didn't know. They was given these visions, but they didn't know what these visions were about. They didn't know. They didn't know what these. They didn't know exactly what these things were. Like these nukes, they was described as arrows. They was described as even hail that weighed a fucking talent, man. Described like that. Arrows that can be shot from one end of the earth to the next. Obviously not what you think of as an arrow today, but obviously not a actual arrow, but a missile. And hail don't weigh a talent. You know, talent is very heavy. Hail don't weigh that much. And I believe it say that something about it being mingled with fire. And that should tell you, you know, because what comes out of these missiles is, okay, no, that's a reference to that plague that hit. That plague that hit Egypt, you know, actually that shit. It was not like about the weight of a talent, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, earthquakes, you know, a great earthquake caused by the nukes. That's an example of that, of you know, what they saw. What these are the prophets and righteous men, what they saw, you know, how they could describe it. They couldn't just, you know, you have to have have that eye salve to be able to see that this means that, to be able to decipher it. Yeah, man. And these 2/3, they ain't got that. You know, and it's several of them, man. That's why Yahushua going next. Parable of the sower. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower, verse 19. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one and catches the way. So there you go. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart, his life, his mind. This is he which received seed by the wayside. Verse 20, but he that received the seed into stony places, that describes one. And then the next, but he that received the seed in stony places, the same as that hear the word, and basically a normal joy received it. Basically, he glad that he's like, yeah, basically it's sweet in his mouth, you know. But then what come after that is bitter in your stomach. Well, and then verse 21 goes into what happens. Yeah, had he not root in himself, but endured for a while, for when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. So he basically like, oh nah, this too much. And they fall out. That's what happens. This too much, you know. Nah, man, nah. I gotta go back into the world. Ain't it symbolic of these 2/3 that wanted to go back into Egypt after we was delivered? It's some same spirits. Verse 22, he also that received, you know, doing the same shit all over again. The same attitude, same mindset, they act the same way. Verse 22, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. Hey, one of those is an example of that was Chadwick Boseman. He heard the word, you know, he heard the word from that man of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, that prophet and former actor. He heard a word from that. He's an elder today. He heard the word from, you know, he understood it. Like he knew that was the names. He knew all that. He knew we was the Israelites for sure. All he do, he he wanted to become an actor. He wanted to become big in this world. He wanted the fame and the money and the fame, man. So, he chose that over Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He was already kind of rejecting it, by saying that he was already rejecting it by saying the names don't matter, but yeah, that's what happened, man. That's what happened. The care of this world, the deceitfulness of riches, choked the word, and he became fruitful. And also, these jakes that sell out, that in trim their ways. These jakes that they're Israelites, they know that they're Israelites, and they these camps that these heads of camps that sell out, and they take that bag, that deceitfulness of riches, choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. Why? Because he trimming his ways for love. So eventually they get sifted out, they get exposed. HOI, man, IUIC for sure. That dude fucking they took the bag. Really, the organization is headed up by an NYPD detective, a cop, and then the heads of them, it's more than one cop. There's several cops that had that organization up. So it's not really trustworthy anyways. You're a cop, you work for Esau. You join the police force after you get the truth. No, there's something about that's suspect. All that shit. Become a detective. What you have to do to become a detective. Basically, it's like moving up in masonry, because the Fraternal Order of Police, they are Freemasons. So selling out many of these groups. So a lot of them sold out, man. It's a lot of camps that sold out. Took the bag and became unfruitful. It's also dudes that they get caught up in. They get caught up in the affairs of this life. Okay, they get caught up in the care of this world. They get caught up with their woman. They start focusing on their woman more. They start focusing on grinding more, whatever they can get promoted in the company, instead of just caring about that daily bread. Just caring about making that daily bread. They wanna be something big in the company, whatever. They have that ambition, to be successful in this world. And so that applies to them too. And what happened? He becomes unfruitful. On verse 22, verse 23, but he that receiveth seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. So, bring in different amount. You do what you can to wake up people to the truth out there. Do what you can. Do these lives, videos. You go out in highways and byways. You do what you can to bring in to wake up Jake. Sometimes you'll wake up a lot of Jake, like it says 100-fold. Sometimes you'll wake up some Jakes, and sometimes you won't wake up that much, but that's you're still waking up Jake out there. Not only he so yeah, it shows you that doing that work, you're a man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and doing that work is important. That bearing that fruit is important, as well as understanding it, hearing it, understanding it, and then and also bearing fruit yourself. Also teaching our people, so that they can do the same. so they can get right. They, hopefully they understand it, and then they could do the same, which, so that's the 1/3 basically is described in the last part of the parable, and the 2/3 are described in verse 20, 21, and 22. Those are the 2/3, the different types of 2/3 that hear this truth. And the same types that's gonna be cut off, because it was set up for the same types that was set up to get destroyed by Esau, Edom, while the 1/3 get saved. And a lot of them are verse 19 also just goes into the 2/3. A lot of them are verse 19 through 2/3. Anyone hear the word and understand it did not. A lot of them, they can't even understand it. And then cometh the wicked one and catches Esau, Edom. Also demons may hop on like demons may put thoughts in their heads, some shit in their heads that put doubts and shit. That may happen too. The Esau, Edom is propaganda. Then cometh the wicked one and catcheth it away. Like this dude understanding not, and ask his local pastor pork chops. Oh, I heard this and that from these groups. They call themselves the Israelites, and they be preaching on the corner. Oh no, that's cold, man. The pastor be like that. Oh no, that's cold, man. Those dudes are going off. That's cold. And then they believe it. Oh yeah, it makes sense. I don't need, because they don't understand it themselves. So yeah, it must be a cult. That's them. This is he which received his seed by the wayside. Which that means like the side of the road, the seed that fall on the side of the road. Basically, that's the I would say the most common type of 2/3. And then verse 20 is probably the next one. The one that they can't endure the hell, the persecution, tribulation or persecution, then they throw in the towel. And then, go back into the world. And verse 22 is also pretty common. The sellouts and those that just, they're like, nah, this is better. I'd rather become something in this world. Whether it's that or whether it's like, I'd rather dedicate my time to grinding harder so I could be elevated in this company. Esau can promote me. Or with my woman, I want to spend more time with my woman. Because I don't want to lose her and shit, I want to spend more time with her. I want to, it's bad. It's more important to them than the truth. And so they choke the word out. The cares of this world, the deceitfulness of riches, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. That's that's also a pretty common 2/3 type of 2/3. Them too. But the first two probably more common. 21 to 22 is probably just as common, man. But these are how these 2/3 are set up for destruction already. And they also spiritual terrors too. Yeah, physical terrors. That's these heathens that look like Jake. Namely Esau, Edom, but also other heathens like Ishmael, Moab, Ham, and You also have other heathen seeds that look like Jake, or our enemies too. Esau is our biggest adversary. They have the most tares as well in Israel. But there's also the spiritual tares, because what does Bible call these 2/3? What does Yahweh Shai call these 2/3? These he calls them he says they're children of their father the devil. Which is let me get it. Which is, and also the about that parable about that house that's built on sand, the house that's built on versus the house that's built on the rock. Yeah, that's about those that here. That's 2/3 too. The house is built on the sand symbolize the one that built a house on the sand. It is about these 2/3 that they hear this and they don't do nothing. They don't put in no work. They're like, okay. They don't really do nothing to change their lives or anything. They don't go out there. They don't do the work. They don't go out on highways, byways, nothing. They don't be going live. They don't be making videos. That's for the man, of course. They don't be doing no type of work like that. Don't be doing, and it's cause they can't. Man. I mean, it's cause they're not willing to. There's a way, but they're not willing to. And there's those that, yeah. So that's what that is. Let me get that scripture, because they are their father, the devil. They are spiritually terrorists, bro. They're spiritually terrorists. Let me get that. I'm looking for it. Hey, which is the reason why 2/3 of you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners can't receive it. You are not. They're the terror. I mean, y'all are spiritually terrorists. Hey, called them Cain, man. Hey, St. Matthew 23, chapter 23, verse, he called them servants too. Yeah. all the way up to 31. Wherefore ye be witnesses to yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Verse 32, fill ye up in the measure of your fathers. You know, y'all in that same lot, doing the same shit. Verse 33, ye serpents, ye generations of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell, you know? Call them serpents and vipers. Which Esau Edom, like he that serpent. So also calling them that too. Ye generation of vipers. Calling the children of their father the devil too. There too. That's another way he was calling them that. Verse 34, wherefore behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city. No, verse 35, here's the point. Now that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel, you know, because guess who murdered Abel? Cain. Unto the blood of Zechariah, son of Barachias, whom he slew between the temple and the altar. You know. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. This same generation, which is back here again. All these things that, well, who Yahushua talked about in the next chapter. 24. You know that 70 AD, and then when that abomination of desolation actually happened, and then, you know, since Yahweh Shem says the same thing, Ecclesiastes, pursuant to Ecclesiastes chapter 1, where it talk about basically nothing new under the sun. You know it's gonna happen again. These people, everything is the same. They the same. They just come back. They come back. They don't remember that they the same. So same thing gonna happen, you know. The third temple, the third temple is the elect, and our bodies, and these devils are gonna attempt to put that chip in our bodies. That's the abomination of desolation all over again. And 2/3 y'all are gonna get that abomination that make a desolation, that make you desolate, because y'all gonna be destroyed. Y'all gonna get that. You know, that's why times we coming into verse 16 that, let me get that scripture about them. They're the basically sons of the devil. They're basically spiritually their father is Esau. Basically is what Yahushua is saying. Yeah, you go into that. That's John. It's actually in John. Ye are of your father, the devil, basically. Let me get it. Spiritually, y'all are, man. Y'all are phased by Esau's media, Esau's school system. You know, a lot of Jake is literally raised by that. Because a lot of y'all, you know, and your dad wasn't around, and your mom sent you to the schools, and that was the form. And then the TV raised y'all, Esau's media. Them so-called celebrities sold their souls to Satan, you know. They do the bidding of who? Their physical children on earth, Esau, Edom. So Esau, Edom raised most of y'all. For those of y'all that had dads around, that had them around, that they was raised by the system Esau Edom, by the system, so by Esau Edom. So it's like almost pretty much the same. But those of y'all that don't have them, that didn't grow up with, and y'all grew up around Jakes that wasn't being raised by your father, so like that peer pressure factored in. But y'all, yeah, man, yeah, you Jakes, two-thirds of y'all, which means the majority of y'all. 2/3 of y'all are this. You know, you do the deeds of your father. John chapter 8 verse 41. And they said to him, we be not born of fornication. We have not one father, even Yahweh. Because they even understood that the Yasharallah is Yasharallah means he's the Prince of Power. That's what that goes back to. Who's the Prince to the King, the Son. So they're the sons of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know. They even understood that, you know, because we still knew we was Israelites back in the land. But even then, verse 42 applied to them. Yahushai said unto them, if Yahweh was your father, he would love me, for I be proceeded forth and came from Yahweh. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Verse 43, why do ye not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word. Verse 44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because, verse 45, and because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Verse 46, which of you convinces me to sin? And if I say the truth, why convinces me of sin? That's what it says, convinces me of sin? Damn. Convinces me of sin, like convicted me of sin? Think it meant. Yeah, convinces me of sin. Okay, basically that's what they try to say, they accusing them of shit. You know, because that's also Esau. Esau is the accuser of our brethren. So they act like Esau, is what he's saying. And if I say the truth, why do you not believe me? Verse 47, he that is of Yahweh, hear Yahweh's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not Yahweh. So they are not of Yahweh. They're 2/3 of Yasharallah. They're spiritually the children of their father, the devil. Spiritually, they come from, spiritually they're Edomites, basically. That's why all this is going to befall them. Jacob's trouble, but who shall be delivered out of it? The elect. Verse 16, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. This is going to happen again. It happened back then. It's going to happen again. And this abomination and desolation, you know. That's the trip this time, and where our bodies are that temple, their holy place, you know. That's why it says you keep it clean. Keep your body clean. Don't pollute your body, because that's the temple that's the temple. That's basically, that's the Holy Ghost. That's the temple of the Holy Ghost, basically. You know, it's a holy place, you know. It's supposed to be, really. It's supposed to be, I should say. It's supposed to be the temple for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Verse 16, then let him which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Because, hey, this time they trying to put the abomination of desolation inside you, because they know that there is no temple to get the 2/3. Him which is on the house 18, neither let him which is in back. All these events, that's what it's leading to. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Verse 20, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Verse 21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Because it's going to be so bad, there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of this world to this time. All the events that have happened since the beginning of the world, to that time. Such as was not. It's going to be that bad. No, nor ever shall be. Unlike any other time. No, nor ever shall be. Because, that's the last Jacob's trouble. Remember, we get when these nukes hit, when they push that mark. That's actually a part of it. And then these nukes hit, and then these famines, all that, these pestilences, that sedition among men, all that. Race wars, civil wars, class wars, world wars, World War be the end of it. The nukes hit, none of that shit. Short. And you can't, in the Sabbath, you can't work, right? And in the winter, it's cold. Those days shall be shortened for the elect days. For the elect's sake. It's locked. Yeah, so, but who's going to be delivered from it? The same, the elect. It also tells you that. And Isaiah, Esdras, 2nd Esdras chapter 16. 2nd Esdras, Salakia, chapter 16, Oh, that must mean something else. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse either 67 kind of says that. But let me get 73 actually. And shall they be known who am I? Actually 67. Behold, Yahweh Shem Yahushai himself is the judge. Fear him, leave not off from your sins, and forget your iniquities to meddle no more with them forever. So shall Yahweh Shem Yahushai lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. There you go. It says it different ways in other parts of the Bible, like in Job it says he shall deliver you from 6 trouble to 8-7. Basically. 7 trouble, complete amount. Deliver you from all this, the burning wrath of a great multitude that is kindled over you. Deliver you from all that. You'll find a way. Even if you're not delivered right away, you'll find a way. Hey, here, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Verse 34, hear, O ye my beloved, say to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. There you go. Verse 75, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide. So be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Verse 16, and the guide of them will keep my commandments and precepts, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. So, have faith. Have faith that Yahweh Shem Yahushai got you. If you don't, hey, you faint-hearted. You don't believe. Verse 77, woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. Hey, that also kind of goes into that as well. That parable. Y'all become covered with your iniquities, bound with your sins. That's basically also happens to y'all. Sometimes y'all do that and then y'all give up hope. That happened too. Verse 78, it is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. So that faith is important. It's key. Faith and works is key. Because faith without works, faith is key. So faith without works is like a key that don't work. People judging me because my hair fucked up. Sometimes you can't fix your hair because you run out of fucking gel or some shit. You run out of supplies to fix your hair with, so it's not like, yeah, I do use that. I do use gel. Oh no, you have weird. That's part of that through crew, part of the 2/3 club, aka the through crew. That's that carnality shit, man. Don't be y'all who dwell on that shit. Y'all carnal, man. Y'all carnal. Okay, so like, got a notification. Y'all carnal if y'all dwell on that shit. On how a man look, his outward appearance. Y'all not judging righteous judgment. Y'all about Shimmy outside. He tells you throughout these scriptures to judge righteous judgments. That's another thing. Y'all get confounded by that. They like to always have their hair done right. Always look comely. Sometimes not. Sometimes you be on point. There's days when everybody has, everybody has some shit they gotta deal with. Sometimes you be on point, sometimes you be lacking sometimes. It's the way it is. So, you carnal lights, man, y'all don't got it. Y'all don't got it. Y'all ain't spiritual. Y'all can't judge. Spiritual man judges all things. Y'all just, y'all finito. Y'all don't got the oil. Y'all don't got the eye salve. So y'all through out here. Y'all through. You BOIs, you LOIs, Latino only Israelites. You all types of Israelite gotta look a certain way. Israelite gotta talk a certain way only, or he's not Israelite. You basically all types, man. You're type of non-spiritual. You non-spiritual as Israelites. You carnal. You carnal face value. Israelites shallow as fuck, only skin deep. Y'all don't got it. Y'all don't got it. Y'all gonna be sifted out. And that's this right here. Judge righteous judgment, which y'all don't do. Judge not the outward appearances. Yahweh Shai actually, he commanded you not to judge by the outward appearance. He himself told y'all to stop doing that. John 7 verse 24. And had not this. Hold up. 7:24. There you go. I'm at 7:44. 7:24. Where it's at. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. It may seem that way to you, but because of outward appearance. But you gotta judge righteous judgment. It ain't always what it seems. A Jake may seem like a heathen because of how he look. You know, some outward appearance type shit. But that's an example of that. But that's not, it just seemed that way. You don't understand it. You don't understand it because you just take that outward appearance and you be like, oh, see, it must be. It must be. You know, y'all skin deep, shallow as fuck. And so that's why, you know, you don't got it. You don't got it. Carnal man is the carnal mind. Mind is enmity against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Romans 8:7. And it's dead, man. It's dead. To be carnally minded is death. It's Romans 8 verse 7. Because the carnal, verse 6. Verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. You know, because y'all base it off, you know, how I do look in the flesh. So they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, verse 5. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. Because verse 7, verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's why it's death. To be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because one of the things that start happening is you start hating on your brother because of how he look, or where he's from, what area, what landmass his recent ancestors are from, you know. Shit like that. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, before it is not subject to the law of Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushai, neither indeed can be. Verse 8. So then that they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Verse 9. But if ye are not in the spirit, but in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so be that the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai dwelleth in you, now any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of this. You don't have it. You're not spiritually minded. You know, that shows that you don't have it. You don't have it. So the flesh, that fleshly, that only judging by how I do look in the flesh, that it means you don't got it. You know, you carnal, and you're not spiritual. You know, which means you can't judge because the spiritual man judges all things. That's verse 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 15. Yeah. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 15. Let me get it. I'll be dealing with the flexes at the same time. Yeah. Hey. Let me get it. I'm gonna get the verses before some of them too. It goes in. For what? Okay. Let me. Hey. For what man? Okay. Yeah, verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of Yahweh Shem outside the mystery and even the hidden wisdom, which Yahweh Shem outside ordained before the world unto our glory. One of that is the Israelite foreigners. That's a hidden wisdom. Verse 8. Yeah, them Gentiles of the Bible that can be saved, which are actually Israelites. Verse 8. Which knew none of the, because we were scattered among the Gentiles and we became like the Gentiles. Some of us even started to look like the Gentiles. Even we became so much like the Gentiles, we started to look like the Gentiles, because of intermixing with the heathen nations. We speak the wisdom of Yahweh and the mystery, Yahweh Shem outside the mystery, even the hidden wisdom, but which Yahweh Shem outside ordained before the world unto our glory. Verse 8, which none of the princes of this world knew, for if they had known it, they would not crucify the Lord of glory outside. Verse 9, but as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither entered into the heart of man the things which Yahweh Shem outside, things which he had prepared for them that love him. Verse 10, but Yahweh Shem outside had revealed unto us by his Spirit, for the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of Yahweh Shem outside. Not just skin deep like you carnalites. You face value carnalite Israelites. You face value carnalite, man. Israelites, thinking in the same way that Esau taught you to think. For what man, verse 11, for what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of Yahweh Shem Yahushai knoweth no man but the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Verse 12, now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that we may know the things that are freely given to us of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Verse 13, which things we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teaches, but which the Holy Ghost teaches, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. So, yeah, man. Well, the spirit of truth, the Holy Ghost, but which the Holy Ghost teaches. We don't teach stuff that we speak not in the words which man's wisdom teaches. Them bywords, we say so-called, because it ain't actually, nobody's actually black, Latino, Native American, not even white. Nobody's actually that. Nobody's actually Irish, Nobody's actually Italian. Nobody's actually none of these. That's a land mass just like America is. Nobody's actually that. You are one of those 19, you're either Yasharala or one of those other 19 nations. And skin color, country of origin, country ancestors' origin, your language that you speak does not determine that shit. Or a combination of all those any of those does not determine that that's carnal. That's determined by the seed of your father, and we don't have them records. So what? So the only thing that can bear witness to it is the spirit. So you have to be a spiritual man to be able to decipher that. Carnal man cannot understand. So a spiritual man judges all things is plain. To which comparing, because we be comparing spiritual things with spiritual. Verse 14, because verse 14, really, the natural man. Verse 15, that's, down to the point. But the natural man, this verse 14, the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, for they are foolishness unto him. He can't understand it. They're foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. He don't got it. He can't. He's not spiritually smart, basically. Verse 15, But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet himself is judged of no man. Verse 16, for who had known the mind of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that he may instruct them? But we have the mind of Hamashiach. The body of Yahushai also has the mind of Yahushai. That's how you know who's a part of that body and who ain't. So that's the elect. Also the elect as well. The body, who is truly a part of that body. Who is with Yahushai and who ain't. The elect is with Yahushai. The elect is with Yahushai. The 2/3, y'all not, which is why y'all gonna be cut off. Y'all on this side, y'all are not with the Yahushai. Y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't right. No need starting in the house of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The judgment starts at the house of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So you carnalites, man, that ain't right. Y'all, those of the circumcision, that ain't right. Y'all have. It starts with y'all. It starts with y'all. You're 2/3 that have some knowledge of this truth. It starts with y'all, and then from then on, outside the court. Hey, and it shall come to pass, Zechariah 13 verse 8, that all the land, said Yahweh Shem Yahushai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. You know what he's gonna do with the third. Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, will refine them, as silver is refined, and will try them as silvers. I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I'll say it is my people, and they say it is the Lord. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is my God. Also, he's searching Jerusalem with candles, and where is he going to start? Where is he going to start? I will search Jerusalem with lamps, all candles. That's Zephaniah. That's Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 12. There you go. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles. And punish the men that are settled on their leaves, that say in their heart, Yahweh Shem Yahushai will do good, will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore, that's you 2/3, man, that's how y'all are. Verse 13, therefore their good shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation, and they shall also build houses but not inhabit them. What does that sound like? Jacob's trouble. When they shall plant sounds like 2 Ezra chapter 16 verses 60 that are going to be delivered. They shall also build houses but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards but not drink the wine thereof. Verse 14, the great day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it is near and haste greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. The day, because the servant's going to eat, y'all, but you 2/3, y'all ain't going to eat. Y'all gonna be hungry and shall drink. Y'all gonna be thirsty. Y'all gonna have vexation of spirit. That's a precept to this. Is near and hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, even the voice, you can hear it. You can hear these signs. They speak it. They not tarry. A mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Verse 15, that the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Verse 16, a day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities, and against the high towers. Verse 17, and so the day of wrath, of trouble, Jacob's trouble and distress, of waste this desolation. The abomination that maketh desolation. All that, all adds up. They're gonna, Yahweh Shem Shai is gonna bring distress upon men. They shall walk like blind men. Grew up in that noonday, right? The ultimate fulfillment of the curses. Because they have sinned against Yahweh Shem Shai, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Gonna get ugly out here. Verse 18, neither shall their silver nor their gold will be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh Shem Shai's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make them even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. And that is for these 2/3, that's that Jacob's trouble. The 2/3 club is about to be shut down. The 2/3 club is now the third crew. That's why chapter 2, verse 1 say, gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, Yasharallah. We are not desired we are the outcasts among these heathens. The proverbs and bywords among these heathens. Verse 2, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of Yahweh Shem Shai come upon you, before the day of Yahweh Shem Shai's anger come upon you. So before that comes upon you, while the doors of mercy are yet open, gather yourselves together. Gather, O nation not desired, gather yourself together, Yasharallah, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners, gather yourselves together. The elect of y'all will. Verse 13, seek ye Yahweh Shem Shai, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought this judgment. Also, who's going to inherit the kingdom? The meek shall inherit the earth, the kingdom. Seek righteousness, seek meekness, it may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahweh Hashem's anger. So it may be that Yahweh Hashem Shai may hide you, may keep you safe. That strong tower, you run into that strong tower. Run into that strong tower, trust in the name of Yahweh Hashem Shai. He'll keep you safe. Seek righteousness and meekness, you shall be hid. There you go, in the day of his anger. Verse 4, for Gaza shall be forsaken, Ashkelon a desolation. These are from heathen nations, and also the cities themselves, which are inhabited by Ishmael today, and Amalek. And Ashkelon a desolation, they shall drive out Ashdod at noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up. Verse 5, woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast, the nation of the Cherethites. Basically goes into these Canaanites, and Amalek is in that land today. Is against you, O the Cherethites, word of Yahweh Shem Shai is against you, O Canaan, the land of the Philistines. So I'll even destroy it, there should be no inhabitant. Verse 6, and the sea coast shall be dwellings and cottages for shepherds and folds for flocks. And verse 7, and the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah. They shall feed thereupon, in the houses of Ashkelon shall they lie down in the evening, for Yahweh Shem Shai will visit them and turn away their captivity. So all these fucking heathens. You 2/3, y'all through, and you heathens, y'all through as well. I've heard the reproach of Moab and the reviling of the children of Ammon. Go into Moab. Moab, y'all Y'all by Shem Shai's hit list as well. Y'all ain't escaping, because the eyes of Yahweh, they're brighter than the sun, man. And Yahweh has his eyes everywhere, man. These UFOs, so-called UFOs, these chariots, they see you, man. This is a curse that flieth upon the house of the thieves. So all you heathen, Moab, you Ethiopians, you Hamites, Cushites, you Assyrians, both ancient and modern, all of y'all are through. Y'all are through. The remnant of Yasharallah, being sealed. And when it is sealed, these four winds shall be unleashed. All this is gonna start. This what you seeing. It ain't nothing. It's about to get on to a whole new level. So yeah, y'all wake up. Those that are part of the elect, y'all are gonna wake up on this side. Those that are in this truth, keep striving, keep pushing. Make your calling of election sure. Rehearse the righteous acts, and y'all, keep that hope up. Rehearse the righteous acts. That's all I want to about to end it, about to wrap it up. Make your calling and election sure. That's 2 Peter chapter 1:10. Hold up. Hold on. 2 Peter chapter 1:10. Wherefore the rather Wherefore the rather, brethren, give all this basically lists all these traits that the elect is supposed to have. Temperance, patience, godliness, all that, for each other. Brotherly kindness, all that, charity for each other. Verse 18, knowledge, faith, diligence, verse 1 Peter verse 4, whereby are given to us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye may be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. And besides this, giving all diligence in your faith, virtue and knowledge. Basically, I went over it, man. All that. Illicit. Verse 8, for if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor fruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Verse 9, but he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off, and hath forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. Because that old man is still there. Wherefore, for you sisters, that old woman that's still there. Verse 10, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if you do these things, ye shall never fail. All these things that are listed. Verse 6 and verse 7. Brotherly kindness, charity, knowledge, temperance, patience, godliness, faith, virtue, knowledge. All that. Diligence. Gotta keep pushing. If you're a man, this thing gotta keep pushing. Go out there, keep pushing this truth out. And also diligence, fight against these temptation, man. Fight against these demons. Ultimately, Jacob's trouble is going to be a true test of all this, especially of your patience. Especially when that chip is put out, of course. I was going to Revelation chapter 9 to 12, chapter 4, 9 to 12. I always go into that, man, at the end, because that's when the ultimate test of, do you really have faith in this? Do you really got faith? Do you really believe in this thing? Are you really about it, or you, or you just, or you really got it, or you faking the fun, basically. Verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead, or in his hand, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So if you get this chip, the ultimate test, don't get this chip. If you fail that, you fail the ultimate part of the test, the last part. You fail it, don't get the chip. If you fail that, you fail the whole test. And the smoke of the torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And here they have no rest day nor night. They worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. No rest. Day or night for eons and eons. Like a very long time you're going to be in the nukes. It's going to seem like you've been in there for eternity. Really. Verse 12, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahweh Shai, Also, you get to see this man come down, all the way. Get to see this man go down. You're the first ones out of here. You're out of here. You're the first ones out of here. Like, you get to ride on them chariots. You get to actually witness that. This place being destroyed. And the first fruits of slavery being taken into slavery, which is these elites. Esau, Edom, and these heathen elites as well. You will have them to survive the nukes as well. Preserved to be the first fruits of slavery. Verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Hey, verse 9, if every man have an ear, let him hear. Verse 10, the point right here. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and faith of the saints. So here's what we waiting on. Yahweh will be that number. Hey, you gotta keep that hope alive, man. Keep that hope alive. Keep your hopes up. Keep your head up and your hopes up. I'm gonna end it on that, y'all. Actually, let me think, man. Now, let me end it on that. I hope this live was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but their spirit beareth witness that they're the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And shalom to the real sisters out there. Shout out to all of y'all. Oh, I didn't know you was still watching because the fucking live said 0 views. But hey, Esau be fucking with the views too. That's all I know. Well, you ain't slick, devils. We see you. And death is coming to you, devils. Death is coming to you, devils. Death is coming to your queendom, your empire. Y'all are going to destroy yourselves, and the rest of the heathen are going to destroy you. And Yahweh Shai and the angels, they're going to be taking shots at y'all from the chariots. You ain't going to stop this truth or these prophecies. Abba is coming. It's coming soon, and it can't come soon enough. Can't come soon enough, That's going to be the happiest day of our lives when death comes to this place. And when this place, the final nails in the coffins hit, the missiles, final nails in the coffin. This place is through already. So when them nukes hit, and this place is finally through for good, you know, it gets what it deserves. The party, like, basically, actually, not like never before. Like never before. Even this one gonna be greater than the deliverance from Egypt. You know, so, hey man, y'all right this out, we be that number. Get to see the downfall of this devil. And then y'all go into slavery in chains under us with our new glorified bodies. For example, me not looking even remotely close to how you damn devils look like. Me getting a new glorified body. You know, melanin y todo. You know, it's gonna be awesome. You know, so that's motivation to be patient. Hold on to the end. Alright, stay strong. Stay strong out there. Stay strong out there. Kam Yasharala, wake up. Wake up, elect of Yasharala. Wake up. Wake up. If you identify all y'all by watching this video, you know, if you're gonna understand it, I mean, then just keep following this truth because it doesn't matter how you look on the outside. Not only it means that you're an Israelite, but that you have a chance at what's the chance that you the elect. So just keep following it. You know, follow brothers' pages. You know, you can look at my subscription list for an example of that. You know, follow the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. You know, GMS Doc YouTube, GMS Info Channel 11, I believe. Info Doc Channel 11. You know, you could follow these different brothers, different elders, different brothers. Hey, the elder out of South Carolina, that's a good one. He good elder, man. He go into the inner workings of the law, you know, and everything, the correct doctrine and everything. You know, you follow those brothers, and we will guide you to the right path, the straight and narrow path. We'll guide you to the straight and narrow path, so not the wide path that leadeth to destruction. Yeah, so hope this live was edifying to anyone that's watching the video. I know you, K. Cole, you told me it was edifying for you. Stay strong, and Yasharala forever. We got next, and we got last, and you know, Yasharala. We got it forever. We got it forever. It's not about Wakanda. It's about Yasharala. A real kingdom. No, this ain't even. Hey, what you thought you saw, or you thought you saw Wakanda, you saw that movie Black Panther, you thought that was a beautiful kingdom. That ain't nothing compared to the kingdom. You know, hey, the king definitely ain't gonna call in the UN to help him and take the side of Esau and the heathens. Hey, the king gonna be more like Killmonger, really. Hey, so yeah, Yasharala forever. Yasharala forever. Yeah. Khan. Y'all right desire. Y'all right desire, you know. Y'all right desire, I do. Like my afflictions and all that get healed. You know, He keep me in this thing. All of us, we stay in this thing. Yahweh Ratazah, that's the will, you know. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, but Yahweh Ratazah, that's a part of how it goes down, you know. We here into the end. Oh, if we die in this thing, you know, we get raised up and get that crown of life. Get that VIP ticket to the chariots. God, you know, because you have to be willing to die for this thing. You have to be willing, you know, when the rubber hits the road, you know, you still gotta be about it. Still gotta be about it when your head is on the chopping block, literally. You still have to be about it. You never know how or when Yahweh Shai gonna deliver you. You never know. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai could, the guillotine could malfunction or some shit. Even then, you could, maybe you're not gonna die. Or maybe you are and you get that crown of life anyways. Khan, I love you, Aqua too, man. All y'all my fam. Those who do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, they're y'all my fam. Y'all my mother and my sister and my brother. Alright, so stay strong to the end. We almost there. It's been a marathon. It's been a long marathon. But, you know, really in the eyes of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, you know, it hasn't been that long. But we almost out of here. It's almost over with. You see these devils, what they're going to do. The moves that they're going to make. And the moves that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to make. You know, because these devils, what are they? They have to make their move. They have no choice. So, you know, Esau, you know, hurry up. Just get it done. Just Just make your move already. We know you have us on that list, that red list, that black list combines the red and the yellow. I'm pretty sure, yeah. You have us on that list. We already know it. You know who clicks on the videos. You definitely know who makes the videos. You know, definitely red list. So we know that you're gonna do it. So just come on, just get it done already. So we can see. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai can take you down, and we will have next. Just get it done already. Man. Yeah, that persecution, yeah. Hey, it has to happen. That's part of the movie, the action part. Persecution in the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai from your situation. You could be in the FEMA camp that you have angels in disguise. Don't you entertain strangers? Some have entertained angels unaware. So you may have that one guard that looks after you, that keeps you safe, has your back when you get into trouble with the other guards. Esau's like, hurry up, Ahab, hurry up. Esau, we know you hate to see it and you hate to hear it, but you know, we're gonna continue as long as we're allowed. as long as we're allowed to continue speaking on this truth, we ain't gonna hold back. You know, we like Jeremiah, burns inside us. Jeremiah, 2/3 are too hard-headed and too. About this truth, that's showing love. Open rebuke is you're willing to die for your mission. Predestined to be through, to be wiped out. You know, just they're not gonna get in the first time. They're gonna get in the second time after they go through the lake of fire. They're gonna be right in the kingdom, but on this side they're not gonna be right. So I mean, yeah, they're through. 66.6 of all Israelites, 66.6 are gonna take the chip. They're through. Because you have to. That temptation in that day is gonna be strong. You know, you're gonna have to have a spirit on you to be able to not take the chip. It's gonna be something else. Like, you're either gonna be dead by that point, or it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be hard to fight it. You know, so y'all Ratazah, you know, we're kept through that time. We're kept from the hour of temptation, which that's for the elect. Meaning, you know, the elect are not gonna be deceived. Trust Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai Khan. Trust him. Hey, it says that throughout the scriptures too. You know, alright, so stay strong. Stay strong, the hopeful elect men and women of valor out there. The Yasharallah of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Stay strong out there. We almost out of here. You know. Until next time, shalom.